Hello, it's the last week of April here in Brisbane. My name is Zoe Haasbroek.
And my name is Tatenda Chikwakukire, and this is Real World News. Here are your headlines.
Queensland coroner says police protecting a violent criminal were not informed about his violent background. This contributed to Tyson Jesson's death while in police custody. Jesson was in Ipswich Hospital under police guard when he was shot.
In city news, the local Everton Park Library is finally getting a facelift. It's been over 3 decades since the last renovation, and this one is serious business. The new construction will include replacing the current building, adding computer and study spaces, and a new car park.
Billionaire Elon Musk is buying Twitter for $61 billion. Musk says he bought the company because it's not living up to its potential for free speech. He says he will also take the company private.
Uber admitted in court this week that it's been taking passengers for a ride. Apparently, Uber drivers have been cancelling trips and charging passengers anyway. This is the 3rd time in 5 years Uber has been caught doing something unsavory, and now federal investigators want to fine the ride-sharing company $26 million.
In other transportation news, the City of Brisbane added a new electric bus to its metro fleet and will soon begin testing it on several bus routes. Don't be surprised by its appearance. It's a long black bus that can hold up to 170 passengers, and it's 100% electric.
Those are your headlines. Checking the markets now, it's time to mind your business.
Here are the financial headlines. A host of blue chips companies are set to release statements this week, among them Johnson & Johnson, Netflix and Lockheed Martin. This as the global markets tap the brakes. Everyone agrees the economy is robust, but in the background, Australia's central bank just bumped up interest rates by 25 basis points. The bank hopes the rate hike will slow down the economy and warns that if inflation continues, it's prepared to raise the rates again. Of course, rate increases are not good news for homeowners because mortgage rates must also climb. One banker says the average homeowner could be paying an additional $300 a month by Australia Day. In tech news, billionaire Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion, and that news has many at the company scrambling for the exits. Musk says he bought the company hoping to improve its potential for free speech, but he's also looking at the bottom line, and that means layoffs. Tech billionaire Mike Cannon-Brookes became energy giant AGL's largest shareholder this week. After a rejected offer to purchase AGL, Cannon-Brookes informed the energy provider that he had purchased 11% of their shares, allowing him an opportunity to vote against AGL's proposed breakup next month and transition to renewable energy. Finally, one tech giant is betting that the COVID-inspired home office is the new normal. HP just announced that a $3.3 billion bid for Poly, an audio headset manufacturer. Clearly, HP sees more Zoom calls in your near future. Checking the markets, the Dow Jones Industrials are up by 84 points, the Nasdaq is up by 201 points, and the ASX 200 is down by 30 points. Those are your financial headlines. I'm Janice Golder, and that's us minding your business. See you next time.
After a week of heavy rains, we need to remember that this is storm season. Here's a look at your weather.
I'm Piper Zawino, and this is your weather. Darwin, sunny with clouds, 36. Cairns, a late thunderstorm, 31. Brisbane, sunny and 23. Sydney, expect some rain and 17. Canberra and Melbourne, both cold with a chance of snow at 6. Hobart, snow and 5 degrees. Adelaide, morning drizzle but clearing, 14. Perth, warm and 25. And Alice Springs, sunny and hot, 35. And the outlook for Brisbane this weekend has cloudy on Friday, a possible storm on Saturday, clearing to another glorious day on Sunday. I'm Piper Zawino. This was your weather. See you next time.
The Greater Public Schools League has just finished several sports seasons. Here's a look at your sports wrap-up.
Here's what's happening in Brisbane High School sports. Brisbane Greater Public School District wrapped several sports seasons this week, including cricket, swimming and rowing. Brisbane Grammar School won the cricket premiership, defeating Brisbane Boys College in the final round. It's been over 9 years since the last time they finished atop the GPS League in cricket. Brisbane Grammar also dominated the league in swimming this season. They won 5 of the 9 showcase relay programs to win top honours. BGS also claimed 9 individual victories. Turning to rowing now, the GPS celebrated its 100th anniversary of the Head of the River, and the top rowing honours went to the Brisbane Boys College. That's twice in 2 years the BBC took the O'Connor Cup. Finally, the GPS hosted its debating competition, and the Churchy debate team outmanoeuvred BGS, and Brisbane State High to win its 3rd debate championship in a row. Those are your high school sports headlines. I'm Izzy Morey, and this is Real World News. See you next time.
Hoping to encourage young people to launch new companies, the Queensland University of Technology just conveyed another round of entrepreneurial scholarships. Here's a conversation with one of those future business leaders.
Zach McDonald is the founder of a web design and development company called Different Digital, and he joins us today to tell us more about his journey. Welcome, Zach.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. So you've just received the Budding Entrepreneur Scholarship. Tell me more about how you felt when you received it.
Yeah, so I guess I was honestly very honoured to receive it, and but I think the most important thing for me was being part of the community and having access to all of the mentors and the people surrounding the whole community at QUT Entrepreneurship, and being able to bounce ideas and really develop strong, long-lasting relationships with key individuals. Yeah.
That's great. So tell me more about Different Digital and how it came about.
Yeah, so Different Digital came about when I was developing websites myself, and I decided that I wanted to bring that to clients, and a lot of my circle was asking for, hey, I really need my website updated, can you help me? Because they knew I was from a technical background. So I realized that there was a real need, a real desire for websites and web development, and then that sort of just spiraled into how can we help businesses improve their marketing and therefore their revenue, profit, and just their sales and how much they convert visitors. Yeah,
so you started this company at the age of 16, right? So tell me about maybe how, have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur growing up?
No, not specifically. I suppose it was more just a vehicle to allow me to I guess get paid doing what I was interested in, because at 16 no marketing company was gonna take me on, because time commitments with school and everything just made that all too difficult. So I decided I'd have to sort of start my own business as the only sort of route to go that way. So yeah.
So what was the most challenging thing about starting a business at such a young age, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, so I think for me, the most difficult part is always, and still is, dealing with client expectations, managing deadlines, all that sort of project management stuff, because I had studied quite a lot, well not studied, but learnt how to do the technical side, doing great design, user experience, and the development, but I was kind of just thrown into the deep end when it came to the whole business side of things, and managing finances, making sure that I had enough income to cover my expenses. All of that sort of stuff was, I guess, a real learning curve, and something I really struggled with. So yeah, I think one of the main things that helped me overcome that was just, trial and error, and really learning from my mistakes and going, okay, that didn't work. How can we make it better next time? Each client, I got better and better with dealing with, how much to price, all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
So it's sort of fairly new, but looking forward, how do you plan to stay competitive?
Yeah, so I think one of our main competitive advantages is coming with a customer approach, which is really centered around solving business problems. So rather than just a new fresh coat of paint, it's more how can we directly address what problems you're having. So for example, a client might come to me and say, hey, I'm not getting any sales through my website, and then we'd look at the whole picture and then figure out what's causing that and what are the issues, and do a really in-depth audit of that. Yeah.
How do you plan to stay, what do you see Different Digital 10 years from now?
I'd really love for it to be a marketing agency that has multiple people under me, and where we can facilitate a whole wide range of services and be able to really I guess, address every area of marketing, such as like website development, design, of course, but also SEO and branding and all of those sort of different mediums. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking with me. It's been a pleasure.
You too. Thank you. Yeah.
That's all we have time. I'd like to thank our guest Zach McDonald for joining us today. My name is Salwa Swandi, and this is Real World News. See you next time.
The City of Brisbane is hosting an art exhibition this month with the purpose of tracking how the city has changed over the years. Reporter Izzy Mori has this report.
I'm at City Hall today to visit the latest exhibit, Making Place, 100 Views of Brisbane. With several major changes to city infrastructure and urban development already underway, Brisbane as we know it is set to undergo a drastic transformation over the next few years. Parts of the city residents once called home could soon become unrecognisable. We spoke to the Museum of Brisbane's Assistant Curator, Emma McLean, about the inspiration behind Making Place.
So Making Place is an exhibition that looks into the city and the way we've transformed over the years, and to create a space where you can also pause and reflect on where we've been and where we're going.
A totally immersive experience, works are displayed from floor to ceiling, giving visitors the opportunity to see, read, listen and reflect on how our city has evolved. Bellevue View, a colourful tribute to the street in Highgate Hill, paints a suburban scene many Brisbaneites know well. Local artist Stephen Nothling explains how the concept of change and development inspired the artwork of his beloved neighbourhood.
Well, all I really want to do is walk out my front gate and paint every house in the street that I live in. I was actually looking at was a sort of almost a history of the architecture of Brisbane, from the sort of the old Queenslander at the bottom of the hill to the sort of, you know, the 2020s sort of modern building.
Making Place also features a newly commissioned sound artwork by artist-in-residence Lawrence English. The piece, titled Sight Listening, captures the city's many soundscapes, from busy train stations to serene wildlife.
Sight listening is a kind of invitation for people to go to places and be present there. If you realign your focus to your ears and to audition, there's a whole other sense of the world that opens up, and this project is about encouraging people to kind of engage with that sense.
The exhibition has also improved accessibility for hearing and vision impaired patrons, providing in-depth audio descriptions of the artwork as well as accompanying Auslan interpretation.
Welcome to Making Place, 100 Views of Brisbane.
It's so important to continue to work towards being an accessible building. I'd like it to be a very civic, democratic space, and we'd love to see the community here.
Making Place 100 Views of Brisbane is on now and is open all week long. Entry is free, so it's the perfect opportunity for people of all ages to revisit Brisbane as it was and to contemplate what it will become in the future. I'm Izzy Mori. This has been Real World News. See you next time.
That's the news here in Brisbane. My name is Zoe Haasbroek.
And my name is Tatenda Chikwakukire, and this is Real World News. See you next time.